India's independence from the British is often described in non-violence and Gandhian nature. His policy of non-violent struggle, truce struggle, has been attributed as the key to independence. His non-cooperation, civil disobedience, and Quit India movement are claimed as the driving figure of the freedom struggle. Hi, and welcome to TFI English, the national socio-political analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Tanya, and if you're watching us on Facebook, give our page a like, and if you're watching us on YouTube, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Coming back to the story, in this video, I will tell you how it was Bose, not Gandhi, who got India its freedom back. Let's begin. Rarely is any prominent space given to India's revolutionary movements in the story of its freedom. Congress's ecosystem completely ignored others' involvement in the freedom movement. However, in an interview with the BBC in February 1955, Dr. Ambedkar himself concluded that Bose, not Gandhi, ended British rule in India. Anuj Dhar, the author and former journalist, on August 14, 2022, sharing an audio clip of Ambedkar's interview with the BBC in 1955, said, he added, "This is the ultimate truth. We became free because of Subhash Bose and INA. This is Baba Sahib Ambedkar speaking. Whatever he says is backed by records, testimonies, etc. Ahimsa had a minimal role in making India free. The war for the change of the false narratives imposed on us can never be won unless we settle this core issue. It is a sin to say that India became free because of ahimsa. Indian leadership have lived on false hopes that promoting the cult of ahimsa will fetch them the Nobel Peace Prize. No, it won't. Do not forget that ahimsa nearly destroyed our civilization. 75 years is nothing in our long history. Any promotion of the cult of ahimsa will have devastating consequences in the future." In the shared audio interview with BBC's Francis Watson in February 1955, Dr. Ambedkar explained in detail why the British left India in 1947. Ambedkar said,
"I do not know how suddenly Mr. Attlee agreed, to give independence. That's a matter of secret which Mr. Attlee one day, I think, will disclose in his autobiography. How he came to do that, because nobody ever expected. It is such a sudden change of front. Nobody ever expected. It seems to me, from the analysis that I make about it, there are two things which I think led to the Labour Party to take this decision. One is the national army that was raised by Subhash Chandra Bose. The British had been ruling this country in the firm belief that whatever may happen, in this country, and whatever the politician may do, they will never be able, to change the loyalty of the soldier. That was the one prop on which they were carrying on their administration. Now that thing was completely dashed to pieces, when they found that even the soldier was being seduced, and to form a party or a battalion to blow off the British.
Ambedkar concluded that if they were to rule India, the only basis they could rule was to maintain the British army. It was never possible to go back to the 1857 scenario when the revolt was suppressed by European forces. Anuj Dhar's research suggests that British MPs in February of 1946 concluded two things in meetings with Clement Attlee, the then British PM. One, that they should arrange to get out, and second, that they should wait to be driven out. The loyalty of the Indian army to the British was open to question. Ambedkar's conclusion is true that Bose, not Gandhi, got India its independence. When Indian National Army soldiers were repatriated back to India from Japan, they were put on trial for their indisciplinary act. As the news of their trial spread throughout the country, a wave of widespread sympathy was generated in their favor. The British hoped that by holding public trials in the Red Fort, public opinion would turn against the INA if the media reported their collaboration with Japan. But as the story of their fights unfolded, they started to be represented as patriots, and the English plan failed. The trials of INH soldiers and Bose became the political issue of independence, and a sympathetic wave in their favor started to generate. This was first seen in February 1946. On 18th February 1946, an insurrection was launched by Indian naval ratings, soldiers, police personnel, and civilians against the British. The Indian Army has been the pillar of British rule in India. Their desertion to British was the final nail in the coffin of British rule in India. So it was Bose and the INA who forced the British out of India, not Gandhi's non-violence. We had been constantly fighting the independence movement with non-cooperation, civil disobedience, and Quit India movement. But when the violent strike turned to the British, they knew that their rule was over.